Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Barke Faraj Kamos. Today I'm going to talk about insecurities that the people have, but then actually putting it out there that is someone else's, if you can understand it. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about a story of mine, okay? And this happens when I was growing up. I used to I used to look up to the imams, people who believe in Islam, who actually the scholars and people who do the prayer, the adhana, or do the khutbah, and I really look up to them. But then I thought they were kind of like, you don't get that job unless you, I wouldn't say saint, but unless you are higher or higher being in a way. Okay, I'm not in higher being. I'm not talking like a Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or the Sahabas. I'm talking about you have to work hard to get to that point. Yes. Now, what I didn't know at the time that we're all human beings. So I used to, because I used to be so, I put them in a, in a higher position that when I actually saw for myself, when I seen that, the person that I put so high, they treat either their wives or they treat other people in a very bad way, it broke my heart that I was like, this person believes in Allah. This person goes and prays and teach other people, but they don't live by example. And that made me not to trust the people who believe in faith, the people who believe in deen, because I felt that they're hypocrites. And for me, it was such a big thing because I became, I love authenticity. I love being authentic. I love to show myself as what you see is what you get. Now, it's not seeing that, I started hating, and not the word hating in a bad way, but I resented some of the Islam people. I resented the people who believe in the faith but use it and abuse it. And I was finding it really hard until one day I was like, so after a long time, starting to know about self-development, but that it made me to be aware that we're all human beings, okay? And listening recently to Yasir Qadhi about when we are born, every person, every human being, when they're born, they have a straight away, okay, the shaitan pricked on the child. And that, because of the envy, because of the jealousy, because of the bad and the ugliness that they've got, because why you're so important to Allah than us, the story, if you knew, of the Iblis when he was told to kneel down to Adam, and he said no. Now that hatred was so bad that so every child who is born, and this is why they cry, because the Iblis, the Shaitan, will prick them, and that means they will go into them. So every child or every human being has his own shaitan that will follow them 24 hours. This I had from Yasir Qadhi. Okay, you can listen to it. I can put a link if you want. Now, and also it's written down in the Quran when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when he was 4 years old, and Jibril came down and met the Prophet, and he forced the Prophet to go down, and he cut his heart to take the blackness of the shaitan that is inside of his heart, take it out and wash it with Zamzam water and put it back in. And he had a scar to prove it. Now, What I'm saying is that he reminded me that we are all human beings, and that means we all have shaitan in beside us that whispers and telling us these things to do or to prove, as the English would say, the ego. Now that is shaitan. It's up to us to actually say no, I'm not going to listen to that because I know better, and put, learn the shaitan and put throw him out by believing in Allah, by actually stating, okay, the what is important to you, and actually make a difference. Now this is something that we have to remind each other. I'm saying this in a way. Now what is happening is that the shaitan will whisper, but will never control us, will never tell us exactly, or be possessed, as you can understand. They cannot possess us. It's us have to do it. So that means, okay, we ourselves as a human being, we have to understand the difference between the two. The one of it is that we have to understand when the whispers are happening, we have a choice to say no or to do it. Okay. The second thing is that we can actually prevent that. We can actually prevent it by doing the du'as, by praying, by do being closer to Allah. We can actually prevent it. What I'm saying in here is that insecurity comes from shaitan. Because when you believe in Allah fully, no one, no one can actually harm you. Okay? Only in Allah's permission. And that is wills from Allah to say that it's okay for them to hurt you and for you to go through that. So that is God's will. But if it's anything to do with shaitan, we can prevent it. So anyway, a lady comes and asks for advice in a way that they had a childhood friend, and this childhood friend, they actually grew up together, and they were friends for a long time. But the lady, she got married, and her husband was one of the imam, and she, after what, 7 years or years later, they'd been together, and the friend, they were always around each other, and it was okay. The family, everything was just, they're so close and everything. But then the husband started commenting here, commenting there. Oh, this person is no good for you. This person has different belief system from you. You shouldn't be listening to this person. You shouldn't be close to this person. So the wife became, what's happening? Why you think that? What exactly changed? Because our children, they're so close to each other. Our families are close to each other. How can it change just like that? And the husband says, I don't, and so the wife said to her, the husband, give me a good reason and I will break up the friendship. The husband said, I don't have a good reason. It's just, she seems to think that she knows more than you do. So, okay, so what is that exactly? I ask you. Because for me, I would say it's jealousy, yes? It's envy. So all that comes from Iblis, come from Shaitan. Because Shaitan, that's their trait. They are jealousy. They are the people, sorry, they're not the people, they're jinns. And they are always gonna be fighting against us because that's what they put in us. Okay? So it's up to us to know the difference between our own insecurity and putting it to another person to make it that is their insecurity, and it's not. So let's be aware. I, as a coach, you always have to ask questions rather than telling your client what to do, because you want them to realize the answer, because they have the answer, because they know exactly what they need to do. So I wanted her to know and to understand what exactly can she do for herself. Because if your husband, just like that, change their minds or say something that really hurts you, you need to ask yourself, is it you? No, it's not you. They came up with something. That means Iblis is playing up in your marriage, okay? Because Iblis is there 24 hours looking, watching, and waiting for the right moment to come and whispers. We are human beings. We are higher, okay? We have intellect. We have something greater, and that is God, Allah. We are spiritual being. So less of the talk that is inside of us that actually doesn't know, or sometimes pushing the boundaries of our own. We have to be more aware, more understanding. If I hear these thoughts that are actually going to ruin someone else's life or actually going to hurt somebody, then these are not my thoughts. These are Iblis, these are Shaitan's thoughts. So we have to be aware of that. We have to fight against Shaitan every day. So this video is to be aware of your own insecurity. But that insecurity comes in because Shaitan saw a weakness to you. Envious, jealousy, all these things come from Shaitan. You don't have to be jealous. You don't have to react the way you react. You can be jealous a little bit in a healthy way, but don't do to overstate your mark, to overstate your growth. Don't show the hatred. Don't show the bad side. Don't show the things that are not good for other people, but to note for yourself as well. So all I want to tell you and to remind each other, because we're here, we have to remind each other that end of the day, insecurities, it comes from Shaitan. So be aware of what you say, what you do, and who are you doing it to. Take care, everybody. And if you want to subscribe to my channel, please do. And also, if you want to share this video, please do as well. And if you have a comment, please comment below and we'll answer. And also for everybody else to see it and support you. So if you have any question or it's happened to you, please tell us and we can help you in some ways. And if you have something that you want us, or you want me, us, you want me to talk about it, I can as well if you comment below. Take care, everybody, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I shall see you soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.